Hello, my friends. This is RZ, and today I'm just gonna go over some different types and styles of digital sports cards. I think this will be good if you're new to sports card trading, and if you're not, if you're just curious about the difference of different types of cards, comparing digital to physical cards. There's some things that are a little bit different, but in the sports card world, there's kind of a glossary. There's a lot of different types of definitions, and they can get a bit muddled. And if someone's asking you, do they want to trade a card? It's nice to know what the heck they're talking about, or at least have some kind of idea. So I'm going to go over some of these right now. Okay, so here are kind of the basics that I want to go over. I'm going to talk about basic cards, multi-cards, the rookie cards, all the different types of material cards, autos, RPAs, portrait cards, some unique cards that don't really fit in another category, instant cards, and then the holiday cards. So anyway, start out, the basic player card is just going to usually be, most cards are going to be the player in their uniform in some sort of action shot. This is pretty common, and these are two kind of middle of the road standard player cards. And then there are some basic player cards that are a little bit more valuable, fancier designs. Flawless are one of the more expensive brands, both in physical and in digital. Impeccable is more of a high-end card. So there's more desire, demand for those cards, even though they're just basic player cards and don't have any other information on them. Then you're going to have multiplayer cards. In this case, it's a dual rookie card. I'm one of those. I'm not a big fan of multiplayer cards. I don't collect that many in physical or digital. But if you have good ones, like two really good players like Luka and Trey here, they can be awesome cards. It's just, it seems like I always end up with one good player and one really crappy player, and they'll have some value, but a lot of times people don't want the card with the crappy player on it. Then you're going to have multiplayer cards like trio cards with three players. Usually these are going to be three players from the same draft class, or the three top, maybe the top defensive player or something like that, or in most cases it's three players from the same team. Then there's just rookie cards. It's just standard rookie card. Nothing fancy about it, just a player. The one thing you'll notice is that rookie card RC badge in the bottom right there. That's it's nice to have that. A lot of rookie cards won't have that on there. I prefer a rookie card that has that on there, especially in digital, because it's hard to tell when you're, at least right now, when you filter both in trade or you're looking at the auction cards in the digital apps. It's hard to tell what the card comes from unless you really know, or what year the card is, or even sometimes exactly what the sub brand or which different pack it comes out of. It's hard to tell just looking at it. So it's nice if the card either has this RC logo icon badge on it, or it at least says rookie on it somewhere. Now, I still put more value on a card. I know, it's 2018. I know if it's a Luka card and it's 2018, I know that's his rookie year. I'll put more value on it, but I prefer the ones that have that to say rookie on it or have the RC badge on it. All right, I'm going to talk about patch material cards. So this is where there can be a ton of confusion and a lot of different explanations of how, what people use. This is where the glossary gets big. People use different descriptions. So you'll hear people say patch, swatch cards, material cards, memorabilia cards, mem cards, referencing anything that's got some sort of, something else in the card. In physical cards, they're just embedded in the cards. But we're looking at pictures in digital cards, so, it's mostly about the style. But, what happens is people use different words to describe the same thing, and so if you want to sell your cards on eBay, you pretty much just use all these words in your eBay listing, and then that's where there's all this confusion. But sometimes people are like, well, I was wanting a patch card, and you send me a jersey card, and you're going to have that because so many people use different kind of the same words to talk about different types of things. Hopefully, I can clarify a little bit of this up. But For me, or I think in general, when I think of a patch card, I'm thinking of like something that's like sewn on. So often that's the logo of the team. It's the logo of the league. It can be the team name from the front of the jersey, the nameplate in the back. Sometimes you'll see people call that a nameplate card. Or often it's even just the edge around the shorts in a basketball jersey. That, to me, that's a patch card. But you want to call it a patch card, jersey card, do what the fuck you want. There are also different types of material cards. You'll see people say dual patch, triple patch, trio patch, quad patch. People will talk about tag cards, the laundry, or just call it a laundry tag card or a laundry card. There's the jersey logo, team logo. I've already talked a little bit of that. Team jersey, logoman are highly sought after cards. That's the like the NBA basketball player. I'll show you some of those. Brand logos, equipment cards, and relic cards. As you can see, there's a lot of definitions for same things, and some of these just kind of overlap. I'll show you some examples of these. So this is like your basic jersey card. It's just a picture. It's just a piece of his jersey. Single color. This is, some people will call this a jersey card, a patch card. It obviously has some piece of, I think, a sewn on. I think it's part of the edge of his shorts or the edge around his sleeves. Here's multicolor jersey card. Again, I think this comes from that patch that's sewn on his upper left hand shoulder. This is a jersey card using what I think is the edge around the uniform. They call it. Flawless even calls it a dual patch card. Here's a triple trio patch card, multicolor. The multicolor cards are always going to be a little bit more sought after than single color. Here's a good example of a good solid patch card. I believe this is from the front of the team name, the sewn-on patch from his team name. Some people will call that a jersey card, uniform card, team name, team patch card. This one is the sought-after logo man card. This is in baseball and the NBA, there's kind of the silhouettes of the player. The people love these cards, and a lot of times they're the 1-of-1s, especially in physical cards. I've seen some logomans that are not 1-of-1s, but in digital. But a lot of times they're 1-of-1s. They're usually very, very valuable cards. I like them. Definitely sought after in both physical and digital cards. This is a good example of a laundry tag card. You'll see this. It's just the tag on the back of the jersey. There's some tags on fronts of jerseys. Tag card. Some people just call this a tag card. Then you're going to have some where you've got multiple. This has got the logo man. This has got the brand logo. This has got the tag card on it. So those are pretty cool cards. Did you know which former pro basketball player is the NBA logoman silhouette modeled after? I bet a lot of you guys know this. It's actually Jerry West. Isn't that cool? He does not like that came out. I guess the story goes, the NBA will not admit that it's him, but the guy that drew up the logo admitted it. I think somewhere in a book or in an article a while ago, and Jerry West wasn't really that happy about it, but kind of interesting. Okay, let's move on. Autograph cards, pretty simple autograph. You can see like the smudges on this, that this is really, essentially a lot of these digital cards are really just photographs of real cards that exist. In this case, that was a printed, something he signed and smudged, and that, the image of the autograph is, on the card. A lot of people call those auto cards too, obviously. Then you got rookie autograph cards, where it's an autograph card, but it's also a rookie card. Those are fairly sought after. Then here's a rookie auto that doesn't have that RC logo, but it says Regal Rookie at the top. Again, I prefer rookie cards that say the word rookie on it. Here's a jersey auto. This is where we're starting to combine it. And of course, it's always good to have autos on the cards. Good to have jerseys and the cards. Now, in the real world, I'm just stop and talk about this for a second. In the physical cards, the jerseys are really game. A lot of them are game worn, and you'll see people say game worn, game used jerseys or equipment or relic. But you know, the autos are really their autograph, and it's really their jersey that they take it from. So those have quite a bit more value. So if you could say just a regular Zach card might be worth $5 or something, and if it's got a patch on it, it might be worth $10. If it's got an autograph on it, it might be worth $30, $40. And digital cards, the patch cards and the auto cards have a little bit more value, but they don't like 5x the value of the card unless it's limited. So if you're talking about a card that's an auto, like say it's an insert that's not limited in digital, and you have a card of a player, it might be worth 500 coins, 1,000 coins for a good player. If it's got an auto on it, a lot of times it'll still only go for 1,000, 2,000, and if it's got a patch on it, same thing. If it's got a patch and auto, maybe you get 3,000 for it. It doesn't like really increase the value. Like say even a 1 of 50 card that might be worth 5,000 coins. If it's got the auto on it, maybe it goes for 6,000, 7,000. It's more about the design and style of the card than it is the value. Whereas a real autograph signed by a player has a lot more value with physical cards. It really, I mean, it can. A $5 card can go for $50 with an autograph of a good player on it. So always depends on the player, of course. But anyway, all right. Now you got patch auto. So this is where you've got the player's auto, and then it also has the patch in it. And then we have the RPA, the rookie patch auto. These are very sought after by collectors because it has everything that you want in the card. It has, you know, or this could be considered probably a jersey patch auto, but it's got a piece of material, it's a rookie card, and it's got their signature on it. So this is a single color RPA. There's a multicolor RPA. You know, this is an RPA with team logo. Usually, you know, the card has a little piece of a patch or a logo or a team name or number. Those are going to have a little bit more value than just a single patch of a jersey. And here you got the ones with the logo, the Nike logo. It's a rookie card, Nike logo, autograph. And then we go to cards where you've got the players where they're not in an action shot, not wearing their jersey. They're just you know, they're just in their street clothes. A lot of these Neuer cards. Probably didn't pronounce that right. Anyway, a lot of these cards are done in street clothes, so a lot of people like those. They're okay. I don't really collect that many cards like this, but they're different. Cool. Then you have some unique cards, like some mem cards that have like a piece of, you know, this is often called a relic card. It has a piece of a basketball in it or football, piece of equipment. Sometimes you see them with shoes, shoelaces, stuff like that. Here's one. These come out pretty sought after here. These impeccable cards that have the metal in them. They're pretty cool looking. People love them. I mean, they're all like 1 of 25, but they're going for higher prices. But you know, they have these cards in, you know, physical cards. They actually have a real piece of silver in there, and so the silver itself is, you know, I don't know, it's worth like $15, $20 right now. So that adds to it. It's pretty cool. It has a unique, you know, item in it. Very cool. So, yeah, it's a rookie card with a unique piece of memorabilia in it. People really like those. Makes them different. Then in digital, we have these instant cards. Now, you know what? I never looked it up and even saw. I've never seen an instant card in physical, but maybe they do them. But you know, definitely these instant cards are nice because a player plays a week, and then the next week they can put out these cards and make them limited, so you can only buy them during that time. It was pretty cool. So you know, they've got these instant cards. The one on the left's like, I think they're limited to 20. Maybe they're limited to 20. The one on the right, or you know what? I can't. No, I think they're limited to the ones on the left's limited to 50 or 100. One on the right is are like limited to the autograph ones are have a lower limit. Shit, I can't even remember now. Sorry about that. But it's pretty cool. It's different thing that you can do with digital cards is they can get the photography and then get it to a designer, make it, and be selling them within a couple of days, which is something that you don't usually see with printed cards because of the time it takes to acquire the autographs and acquire, get the photographs and then get them printed out, put in a box, shipped, and stuff like that. Holiday cards, of course, these are the ones from last year where they're wearing a Christmas sweater. They're pretty cool, funny cards, I think. They just did these Easter cards. They just do it unique, basically a parallel of a card. And parallel rainbow is something that you'll hear too, which means it's like you'll notice in some of these, Prism's really famous for this. You'll notice that a lot of the card style looks the same, but they just have different colors. They have different designs, different backgrounds, but generally it's the same photo of the player. And a lot of people like collecting the parallel of those cards, like all different version of them. There's a pretty big market for parallels. And then I think with these cards, you'll notice that a lot of them are always just a different color, and that's where the word rainbow comes from. And then we've got this one. This is the one that showed up. This is actually showed up on the Dunk app. It's actually a Drew Brees card with a scribbled out mark on it, which is weird. So what is this? And I've been looking at these cards and thinking that I believe. So I opened up one of these cards in one of the apps at one time, and I wish I would have grabbed a video of it. I just wasn't thinking about it. But when you open up the card, you can actually see the autograph being written out. I think in the future, what they're going to do is they're going to bring in, I think this is a test card, and they're going to bring in athletes, and they're going to have them sign, like, you just sign a tablet with a digital pen, and then the signature actually being written out will be part of like a video or an animated GIF. And you'll see that. So when you open the card on the app, you'll see the autograph laid out. And if they do it right, and they have the athlete sign, Drew Brees 2020 1 of 10, Drew Brees 2020 2 of 10, and just have them mark that out and record that entire signature, then you could really say, hey, this was actually the player that signed it. Which is cool, which is different, because one thing now about these autographs is they're just a picture of an autograph. But if you're able to capture the video of a player signing and then certify that, yeah, we had the player in our office and he signed the card, I think people would buy that, and I think there would be a lot of demand for it. And I think that's one of the things we're seeing now with the draft. They did these animated cards, which are supposed to be more animated, although I haven't seen how those work yet. But I think they're going to go towards, one thing about having these digital cards is the ability to actually make videos of cards, to actually have cards that you collect that show like a 3-second clip of LeBron dunking on somebody. I mean, that's something you can't do with physical cards. So while there are some great things about physical cards, such as, actually having real player signatures and pieces of patches and jerseys and things like that, and then there's to some degree having cards that are more valuable because they're older and better condition, that's a good thing. But in many ways, the ability to add animation, video to cards, to be able to add all these stats to the back to play games with them, the card hunter, all these types of things that you can do with digital cards is pretty cool too. And then I think you don't have to worry about condition, which can really be annoying with physical cards. And I think in a world where everything's going to digital, the ability for digital cards to become more valuable and more it being more sought after in the future. I think that personally, obviously, I collect a lot of these because I think in the future they're going to be worth more. It might be a while before they're worth more. I think they got to find a way to allow people to sell cards easier than eBay. But if they do that, I think they're going to be worth a heck of a lot. So anyway, That's my opinion. Everybody has a different opinion. Most people probably don't think that, but I remember collecting Bitcoin fairly early on. I wish I would have got a lot more because everybody hated it, and then it blew up. A lot of people got rich just buying a couple $100s worth of Bitcoin. So it's kind of the same thing. I don't think these prices of these would go that high, but I think they're pretty cheap right now, considering. And if more people get on these apps, then you're just gonna then I think eventually if they do video cards and they add animated autographs and they make it easier for you to sell the cards on the app, then I think you'll see more users and card values go up. Because it's fun to be able to sit there and sit at the dentist office and collect cards, or do whatever you're doing and collect cards instead of, it's a lot harder when you got to ship them out or go to card stores and stuff like that. So anyway, well, that's just my opinion. Hopefully this is good information, helps you out, and gives you a good idea of the different kinds of styles. You might, if you're not real familiar with card collecting, then this might be something that can be helpful. You know what someone's talking about. They send you a message, or you hear someone talking about it on the forum. So anyway, that's it. Follow me on the Blitz and Dunk apps. I trade with a lot of people. So it's the only problem is my name's RZ, and it's hard to find it. I need to have them change my name. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. But I'm also on Twitter and Instagram, just not as much anymore, because I was on Twitter a lot because I do a lot of DFS stuff, and now that there's no sports, I'm not on it as much. But as soon as sports starts back up, I'll be a little bit more. I'll be on Twitter a little bit more. And Instagram, I need to actually get on there and posting cards, trying to drum up some interest in digital cards. So anyway, hey, you guys take care, and we'll see you soon.